This is the photo that was taken that the Indiana State Police released.
Oh, whoa.
This is the number one prime suspect, which they have not been able to find yet.
So, we didn't get a hint tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because it's not
I'm
the
just drinking a
same.
margarita.
All right. John, what do you want to drink? Do you want just a glass of wine?
Yeah, it's not the same without you, Jen.
Do you want red?
I know.
Do you want to shout out all the stuff that we got going on?
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about.
Taco. Yeah.
You got to mention the one of our tacos that actually considered herself a taco, which is really cool.
Yeah, we've got a couple of things. So I'll start with our Patreon stuff first and foremost, since our Patreon people are really supporting us financially and paying with their pockets. So first, we would like to welcome Kalani, who is another taco from Australia. So I know John already has another story that Jazz wanted John to do. So I guess we're going to do a couple of Australia episodes soon, but a little bit about Kalani, which is super cool. She works at the zoo in Sydney, and
Can she get us tickets?
I'm sure Kalani can hook us up. But Kalani actually had some very interesting insight into the owl theory from the staircase murder with Michael Peterson.
Yeah, that was Patreon, right? Yeah, we did that on Patreon.
Yeah, that was a Patreon exclusive episode, which was super interesting. And it was awesome to just get another perspective. It kind of went both ways a little bit, actually, after hearing about what Kalani had to say.
Yeah.
But super cool to have another fan from down under.
Because
Yes.
Nicole, you were on the fence, right? You?
I mean, I am. Okay, so my theory.
Man, we're talking about the staircase. If you guys,
Yeah, the
so
Netflix
it's on
series.
Netflix.
So
We did a Patreon episode with this new crazy theory that's out there called the owl theory.
right, and I don't think that there was probably enough evidence to convict this guy to begin with. However, this woman clearly didn't just fall down the stairs and had all the blood and contusions that she did just from that. So in terms of any other theory as to why she died, if we're not saying it's murder, the owl theory is pretty good.
Yeah. I was pretty convinced. I was swayed.
Yeah.
So, especially after my dad told me he was chased by an owl.
Yeah, I was too.
And I think it runs in our family that we're chased by birds. Did I say this last time? Because I was chased by ducks.
We were talking about it last night a little bit when we were doing our Patreon fan videos.
Yeah, so I got chased by ducks on Halloween. I was just trying to be nice and pet them, and then they started attacking me.
Well, you gotta you're not supposed to feed the animals, Jen. This is just animal 101.
But they were so cute, and they looked really friendly, but then they ended up not being.
But you did this when we were at the Mexican restaurant, and I think they could have choked on they could have choked on the tortilla chips, man.
But those are baby ducks. I didn't end up giving them anything because
the ones in front of the house?
No, the ones at the restaurant.
You were giving them so many chips. That's a lie.
I don't recall.
I recall very clearly.
Okay, well, they were cute and baby ducks, and these ducks that chased me were not baby ducks, but they were still cute, but they were not friendly. I tried to give them goldfish, and then they chased me around my car, and they chased me into the house.
Yeah, into the house.
Yeah, they chased me up the walkway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty scary. So Kalani, welcome. Thank you so much for your support to us on Patreon. We've got actually even more people to shout out on Patreon. So, we also have Karina, which Karina is another taco supporter, and she is the one who
Connecticut.
Yes, she's the one who actually started using the word taco, self-identified as a taco.
Yeah. And Karina, I went to school in Connecticut But
Yes.
I do have to say that although Connecticut holds a special place in my heart, I don't understand why people from Connecticut detract from New England and decide to identify with the tri-state area instead. It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
But
she's going to school in Manhattan, so
yeah, John Jay, which is really, I have one of my sorority sisters end up going there
well,
for
that's
for law.
cool.
I guess, I don't know. I didn't really know her that well.
I'm talking about our tacos, Karina, and not your friend who you kind of sort of know.
I'm just trying to make a connection.
Well, Karina also needs to take the love language test like you do.
Yeah.
We should do that. We should do that as one of our as part of the Patreon episodes tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll do the quiz with you, Jen.
Okay.
Or we'll ask you the questions.
Okay.
So Karina, you'll be able to hear what Jen ends up being. So Karina, yes, she's going to school for criminal justice, so she loves it when you talk psychology to her, Jen.
I'll be even more helpful in that when I take my DSM-5 and assessing abnormal behavior classes over the summer.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome for the podcast. Not that your insights aren't already, but it's going to be even more so.
Well, I'll be a little bit more educated.
And so another shout out that we have just for Patreon alone, brand new members in the last couple days, is Grace, who is not just a taco, but a taco supremo, which means she's donating $5 or more per month to us on Patreon. So for those of you who don't know, just another quick reminder about what Patreon is. So Patreon is a platform for us and all of our biggest taco fans to come together and not just talk about episodes that we've done, but there's also very exclusive content that's for the Patreon subscribers. All you need to pledge is $1 a month in order to get access to this exclusive content. So it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. And for the folks who donate a little bit more than the dollar, if you donate $5 a month, it's the same content that you get, but we're doing a little extra for you. Obviously, it's a little longer of a shout out love. But we're doing special videos for our Patreon fans, or Taco Supremos. So we're doing like 15-minute videos, roughly, personalized to our fans who are donating that much money. So we actually did 3 videos just last night due to the high number of Taco Supremos. So we did one for Grace, we did one for Jazz, who upped her pledge, and one for Julie, who's a longtime Patreon fan and supporter. So we're just so thankful to have you guys on the platform and commenting with us and getting all this insight onto the stories that we're doing. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like the Patreon episode we just put out with the owl theory with the staircase, like they got a lot of comments too. Because it's I mean, I believe that could have actually, because if you think about it, there were blood droplets outside of the house. And if you're going to kill your wife, why would there be blood droplets outside the house? Like he didn't go hit her
unless he
outside.
like went back outside and he would have had to been dripping in blood or something.
Yeah, exactly. And he wasn't dripping in blood.
I think the 2 most compelling pieces of evidence for me were the shape of the lacerations. They look just like bird tracks, and also like when you talk about, I guess it's the same piece of evidence, but a different point about it is that when you talk about like the precision in size and measurements in between like all the lacerations, like it just wouldn't be physically possible to replicate like the same angle every single blow that you do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
and plus
that was compelling for me.
Plus they found the supposed murder weapon, the blow poke.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe we should just like avoid people with the last name Peterson. No offense to any of our tacos that are last name Peterson, but you have Michael Peterson, you have Drew Peterson, who killed his wife and actually 2 of his wives. Then you have Scott Peterson, who killed his pregnant wife Lacey, and Adrian Peterson, who was an NFL player who got into trouble for beating his son. So maybe it's just like in the name.
Yeah, it could be.
But isn't that weird?
Didn't you just say that Michael Peterson didn't kill his wife? But then again, he had 2 wives, and they both, or whatever.
Well, he
people died
2 people that fell
falling down the stairs, which is kind of like
Jen, and you had another taco that you've been emailing with. What was the last email that you had?
Jasmine.
Another Jasmine. That's right.
With no E.
Another yeah.
From Ocala, Florida.
Yeah. What'd she say?
And she said, "I heard the new episode this morning. This was on Thursday, and I really liked it. Thank you for the shout out. It was really cool to listen to, and who knows, maybe our paths have crossed. Thanks again, Jasmine."
Thanks, Jasmine. That's cool.
Thank you, Jasmine, with no E.
Did we have another iTunes review? So the only one I think that we're missing is from...
The one with the blue?
No. This is it?
Oh, wait. No, we read that one.
Did we?
Well, no, I don't know if we read it, but I showed it to you.
I don't think we read it out loud. So this was apologies. No. We haven't checked the iTunes reviews in a while. So
no more nicknames.
Yeah, no more nicknames. On November 28th, posted, "This is it. Absolute favorite true crime podcast. I find myself waiting on Tuesdays for the new episodes to show up because I missed these 3. They make up the perfect cocktail that hits my funny bone true crime and bartender life."
Ooh.
See, the Tuesday thing is catching on, babe.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday is the thing.
Yeah, so during the holidays...
Then there's another one. Now, this is really something, a 5-star review. This is really something else. I love it, and I'll recommend it to anyone. From TH Krish.
That's awesome.
In Norway.
Ooh, Norway.
Norway!
That's a new country we haven't got yet.
That's so cool.
Actually, there's a couple of ones I don't think we've read. Hold on. Intriguing. Just heard this today. Really cool podcast from Mark Alden. Hilarious. Love this podcast. John, Nicole, and Jen make true crime really interesting. Elsie Ferrix.
I think we read that one.
Oh. Interesting insight. Good fun leading into the story. A thought-provoking approach to the story. Great recording quality. Interesting conversation around the murder. Average guys.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. And, John has to make up for the fact that he didn't read all the Harry Potter. So when they're all out at Christmas time, John and I are going to watch it while I'm
not watching it.
Yeah, you promised.
No, I'm not
How about this one? Did we do this one? To Die For? Top banter, booze, and brutality. If you like murder, which spoiler alert is talked about in Talk Murder to Me, and criminal history, you'll settle right in with John, Jen, and Nicole. Heckboy43.
Nice. I don't know if we read those.
I don't think so.
That's awesome.
Nicole, where are we going tonight?
New York.
Jen, where are we going tonight?
In Boston.
Well, you're in Boston.
Yeah, so. I'm actually not in Boston, but I'm in Massachusetts.
I've been interested in this story for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought tonight would be the perfect night to do it since you're away, Jen, and it's more of a discussion story.
Okay.
But I didn't want to do it earlier because I was waiting on more developments from the story. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell you right now, the killers have not been caught.
Oh.
But there's something very, very intriguing about this story. And so we're going to Indiana.
Oh.
And this story actually happened last year.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to Indiana. We're going to Delphi, Indiana. Yes, it's pronounced Delphi and not Delphi.
Isn't there a college?
I'm sure there is a college. Or something? I mean, Delphi is a really small town.
It's also the name of a city in Greece, right?
You're talking about, what I'm thinking of. You're talking about no more than 3,000 people that live in this town. This is a very small town. Here's what happened. It was the afternoon of February 13th, 2017.
That's my half birthday.
There were 2 best friends, Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Her name is Liberty German. That's her last name. Abigail Williams and Liberty German. They were dropped off at this historic bridge. The place where they were dropped off is called the trailhead of the bridge. And it's not just a bridge. It's like miles and miles and miles of, it's like a nature walk almost. You know, we have
So
them
it's
here.
like they were dropped off at the beginning of it?
Yeah, so it's like it's a trail system. That's what it is.
Right.
So it's a huge trail system. It goes over creeks and everything else. And it's actually really cool looking, especially the bridge I'm going to show you. It's kind of a historic site. It used to be a site for like the railroad and stuff like that, but then it was closed off and now it's open to the public. So, and they have been there countless times before. I mean, there's nothing to do in Delphi. Absolutely nothing. So going to this trail system is what everyone does. And there are people that run there all the time. There's college kids hanging out there. Like, I mean, you take your girlfriend there because it's real nice looking, you know. So they get dropped off in the afternoon. And according to the parents, they were only dropped off for an hour, maybe an hour and a half max. They were doing the trail system. Now, the mother was working 2 jobs, so she was going to pick both the girls up at the trail system when she was done. She tried to call the cell phone. Only one of them had a cell phone. Liberty had a cell phone. Liberty is 14 years old. Abigail is 13-year-old. So you can see why this is kind of pulls at your heartstrings. So,
yeah, and I was gonna say, like, I'm surprised that they both didn't have phones, but I mean,
yeah, in this day and age,
a lot of kids that age already have cell phones.
Much
I
younger, even.
was in high school before I got my first cell phone, but
it was a Monday. At 1 p.m., one of the family members drops off the 2 girls. Now, the trail is near Monon High Bridge. It's MONON. If you go to patreon.com/talkmurder, I'm putting the map of the entire trail system. Plus, I found some like 3D rendering maps. Plus, I found someone actually walking through, because you got to see, and I'll show you the bridge. You really got to see it. It's beautiful, but you can really see how it's not something I wouldn't say I would drop my kids off of, but you know. Now at 1 p.m. they dropped them off. At 5:30 p.m. the 2 girls, they didn't show up to the location to be picked up by the family member. Now, they were calling the phone. But you got to think about it. This is out in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. The cell phone reception is awful.
Yeah.
So you call once or twice, okay, you know, and then one of the family members said, okay, maybe they met some boys, you know, they don't want to get in trouble, so they're not answering the phone. Like, no one would think the worst happened. In a small town of 3,000 people, no one would think the worst happened. But they kept calling the phone, and they did not pick up. Then within hours, when it started getting nighttime, because in Indiana, it could be 80 degrees during the day and 40 degrees at night.
right.
And only one of the girls actually had a sweater on. The other one doesn't even have a sweater. So, I mean, what if they fell in the lake, in the creek, Deer Creek, and now they're getting hypothermia? You know, so that's like the worst you could think of would happen. That Monday night,
everything that they're thinking is like there was an accident.
Yeah. Or maybe their phone died. So maybe the phone died and they got lost. They kind of went off the trail, because it's a couple miles of trails and it's in the middle of the woods. You could get lost really easily. And there's probably, you know, animals there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snakes or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So Monday night, now these are teens. So at Monday night, a huge search effort gets underway. So it's hours later, they didn't pick up the phone. It's getting dark. Now hundreds of people from the small town of Delphi, get together, and they're on a mission. They're going to find these girls, you know, and hope maybe they did get lost. And yeah, they'll be cold as hell tonight, but we'll find them and everything will be fine. So at 12 a.m.
They decided to go camping.
Maybe.
Jen, are you holding a teddy bear?
She is.
I am. I'm trying to get comfortable.
She's just snuggling with her teddy bear.
Okay, so let me show you the pictures of the two girls. Like I said, guys, I'm putting everything on patreon.com/talkmurder. Please go there, support us, and get in the conversation with us. So Abigail is right there.
Sorry, I'm using a makeshift headboard right now with 2 storage bins because there's no headboard on this bed. So the teddy bear is here so I can like stay upright kind of and not have my head against storage bins.
That's fair.
All right, so Abigail is on the left and then Liberty is on the right. So now it's getting midnight. The police are calling off, they're not calling off the search. And they got a lot of, I wouldn't say hate for this, but they wanted to call off the search until the morning. And they actually had a really good reason for that. They were bringing canines in from Kentucky. So they were trying to get people to stop searching until the dogs got there. Because the more people you get out there, the more chance the dogs can be thrown off their scents and stuff. So if you hear someone talking bad about the police calling off the search, that was their main reason, which is very valid. But the volunteers decided they're not going home. They're going to stay and they're going to search no matter how long it takes through the night. So they stayed there all night long. And finally, on Tuesday, February 14th, 2017, it was around 12:15 in the afternoon. The 2 girls, their bodies are found about a half mile away from one of the historic bridges.
Wow. Okay,
now we're going to look at a video of someone doing a walkthrough of the bridge because it's actually it's a really cool bridge. And I can definitely see why anyone would want to go spend time there. So let me show you this one. Sorry.
Remember that bridge that we went to in Greenville that was like suspended?
Yeah, and you got us lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were convinced that we were going that way, but we weren't. Nicole,
wait a minute. You got us lost.
Nicole and I were like, no, this is not the right way, but you were like convinced.
We're like going away from the water.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys let me lead.
I don't know, because you like admit that you're terrible with directions.
Yeah, so.
But like you would not take no for an answer. Like
no,
you're like,
this is this way.
This is it. I'm telling you guys. I know this is where we're going.
This is creepy.
All right, can you see, Jen?
This is a creepy ass bridge.
Oh,
fuck this! No.
All right, so we're watching a video
This is like the Shrek bridge.
We're watching a video of a woman.
It's not over water.
I'm looking down.
We're watching a video of a woman doing a walkthrough on the bridge. So I'm going to link this on Patreon. So go there and if you want to see it.
But there's no water underneath it.
Yeah, there is. This bridge goes on for a long time. You'll see a creek. I mean, would you let your young kids? I mean, because think about it. I mean, you could fall through one of those.
Oh, easily. There's no railing.
Yeah. I mean, look at how scary that is.
Oh my god! I actually like physically could not walk across that.
Look how high
I would be way too scared.
I mean, look, you could fall through those cracks. So I guess it's an old. I don't know if it's a railroad.
This literally looks like the bridge in Shrek.
Yeah, I haven't.
This is my worst nightmare, actually. Like walking across something like this. I'm getting really nervous just watching that.
Well, it's open to the public, apparently.
Don't look down.
That's
Don't look down.
stupid.
Don't look down. Shrek, I'm looking down.
And you'll see these little platforms on the bridge, too, I guess. So I don't know if this was trains would go across this. Yeah, those are the platforms.
Right there.
I mean, it must be.
Yeah.
So the woman that is doing the walkthrough now is actually going to go to where the bodies were found.
Bridge?
Very high.
Nope. I don't do ladders and I don't do tall bridges without sides.
I don't do any bridges, whether there are sides or not, walking across it.
There's no railings on this bridge, and you have to watch your step.
Not. My equilibrium is not well prepared enough to go on a bridge like that.
You definitely do not want to run on this bridge, especially at night.
Not to mention, like, I could easily trip on one of those wooden panels and fall to the side to my death. Like that's not even far fetched.
I mean, all of
we all know how clumsy I am.
I mean, look how rotten that wood is too. I mean, what if you were to step on a plank and it falls
collapse
through?
under my weight? So I would see that bridge and then turn right the fuck around.
Look at those platforms, like.
That is terrifying. I mean, it's also just really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of cool, but not cool enough for me to want to risk my life crossing it.
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah. No. So, all right. So here's what happened. And I'll show you a picture of the girl. So they recovered Liberty's phone. And of course, they have Snapchat, just like everyone has these days. Well, I don't have Snapchat.
I also don't have a Snapchat.
Oh, you know,
I do.
Young people, they have Snapchats. Oh, I don't
have a purpose for it. Even when I had it for
Does anyone have a purpose for it?
I had it for like a month and I never sent anything. I only just got people's like pictures of things superimposed in front of their face. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Snapchat filters are so fun. I always take videos in a high-pitched voice and send them to my friends.
Yeah, but that's...
Oh my God, Jen.
Jen, you do not do that. Jen, are you on Snapchat?
You know what? Don't hate on my Snapchat videos. No, you'll never see them because you don't have them and you can't be impressed by them.
I didn't understand that. I didn't know that you were on Snapchat, honestly.
I am on Snapchat. Why wouldn't I be on Snapchat?
I don't know.
Jen, where can our fans who are on Snapchat go to find you?
Yeah, Jen, what's Collins. Jen.Collins. Add Jen.Collins on Snapchat. This is a picture of Liberty's phone. That's actually Abigail walking across the bridge. It's kind of, I mean, obviously there's a filter or whatever. So it was a good post, like for, I don't know.
This is whatever. Day of her murder?
Yeah. So they were out there on a Monday and then they were on this bridge. Now, let me just get to
so scary looking.
Let me just get to what happened. From what we know,
it's a cool photo bridge, but like,
now the girls
worth it.
You could Photoshop me on there. That's about the only way I'm getting on that fucking thing.
Now the girls,
is it worth it in the long run?
No.
The two girls were taking Snapchat pictures and everything else, and
it's all for the gram. We talked about this yesterday. They did it for the gram.
Now, sometime, all right. Here's where it gets very, very intriguing. This murder. This is why I've always been wanting, because I thought they would catch this guy by now, but they have not.
I don't like
Liberty.
I need closure.
Either Liberty or Abigail had the phone, and at one point before their murder, because the police came out and said yes, they were murdered. This was a double homicide, and actually they used the word heinous, which means there was probably a lot of physical trauma. It's not good. Everyone thought that the girls took this photo I'm about to show you, but it did come out that this was from a security camera somewhere, but it was an actual video, but they released a photo that shows you the best that it could. So anyway, this is the photo that was taken that the Indiana State Police released.
Who's that?
Oh, wow.
This is the #1 prime suspect, which they have not been able to find
I think I heard about this case, but I don't remember. It was like a long time ago, and I was like, that's interesting, and I totally forgot about it, but I remember seeing that photo.
Exactly.
Okay, so is this guy on the bridge also?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the video of this video, and she kind of talks about it in here. He was on the bridge as well. Now, the girls probably got off the bridge and got on that little platform. It's up here, if you see the video.
Yeah.
So up here, they probably got on the platform because they noticed he was walking really fast.
So they wanted to get out of his way.
Get out of his way or something. I don't know. Now,
how do they know that they got on the platform? From this video?
Because it's like you almost have to get on the platform, right? Because you can't even hardly fit through.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on a bike trail and you have to pass someone and you're like on your left and you like get out of the way, or like when you're playing golf or mini golf and you let someone play through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to like waste their time.
Yeah. So
they're probably just trying to be polite.
Yeah.
Also, John, we still have not gone to play mini golf.
Well, now we have to wait until the weather's nice.
So they saw this guy coming and they got off on the platform. Now, that's very intriguing. But on the phone, Liberty's phone, and I'm going to play you a sound clip. She recorded a sound clip, and I'm going to play it for you right now.
I'm afraid it's going to be creepy.
No, it's not creepy. But, guys, if you're in Indiana, obviously you know this case. This is still an ongoing case. So us doing this podcast and other people doing podcasts, it gives it more push, you know. So, I mean, this guy's still out there.
I mean, it's a pretty good picture that they have of him, too.
And they actually have a police sketch, I'll show you. It's
clearly like a middle-aged man, probably somewhere between 45 and 60. Heavier set. Looks like Caucasian male.
Yeah, and
maybe around 5'8".
So he's wearing blue jeans and a blue sweater. And one of the things I haven't seen a lot of people talking about, like on all the forums and stuff, is the shirt. He's wearing a brown T-shirt, which, I mean, in my mind, it may be a work shirt. Like he may work for a company because there's not a lot of brown T-shirts. I mean,
can you go back to the photo?
Yeah. I mean, people wear brown T-shirts.
Yeah, brown's not a very popular color unless it's like a sweater or like pants.
Exactly.
You don't really see a lot of brown T-shirts.
Is it a brown hoodie underneath a navy jacket? Underneath a blue jacket?
I don't know. They came out and said it was, but they don't talk about the brown T-shirt, which I think is important because in a town of 3,000, someone would have known this guy.
I think he has a mustache as well.
So he may be a contractor working in the area.
Do you agree he's got a mustache?
I'll show you
I can't see. Well, but hold on. Sure.
One second. Let me show you this.
The sketch looks younger than I thought. I was picturing somebody that looked a little bit older and more raggedy.
Now, apparently the police have a video of it, but they didn't release it. They said...
no, I can see it. I can see that. When you look at the picture, the sketch and the picture side by side. He almost looks like John Belushi, but not.
I was thinking he's someone a little bit older. And not, like the guy in the sketch looks kind of young to me. And I'm thinking the guy is probably pushing 60.
I don't know.
I'm just getting an older person's vibe. I don't know.
Okay. So, I'll go with it.
Now here's the other.
Mean, we're both entitled to our opinions.
Here's the other piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
On Liberty's phone, they had a recording of a voice. This is from the FBI.gov. A voice of unknown subject in Indiana double murder investigation. And here's what the voice said. So this is going to be looped, but this is the voice they've recovered from the phone. It's saying down the hill. Down the hill. Yeah, so it says down the hill. So, all right, here's what they're thinking. So they saw this guy coming, and I don't think this is a security camera photo. The police said it was, but I think that the girl took this on the Snapchat. I really do. Now, the police are not releasing her.
Well, yeah, it's like, where is there a fucking security camera on that fucking
That's what
bridge?
I was going to say. Yeah,
exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
The cops,
But this goes also, when you think about it, and that we can save this topic for later in the discussion, but, like, where does the line draw? Like, they were talking about, like, kind of goes back to the Golden State Killer, like, and the San Bernardino shooters, like, where's, like, if you're trying to solve a murder...
Accessing Snapchats, you mean?
Yeah, accessing phones and Snapchats and stuff. Like, this could be so helpful. Her phone was recovered?
Yeah, so her phone, I guess, was on her. Now,
I'm wondering if, maybe this came from...
I don't care what the police say. This is definitely a Snapchat picture.
Yeah, or just it was on her camera roll or something.
Yeah, so here's what I think happened, and a lot of people think this too. They saw the guy coming. Now, obviously, he's looking down because if you don't look down, you're going to fall in the freaking cracks, right? Everyone looks down.
Right.
Maybe he was walking so fast, or maybe she took the photo because, hey, I never seen this guy. And in a town of 3,000 people, this guy, or maybe he was talking to himself and she wanted to do a Snapchat video of, look at this guy talking to himself. It's weird, you know? And then maybe he came up on him. maybe he saw that she was Snapchatting him or whatever, recording him, and then he said down the hill, and then they followed.
Maybe. I mean, and also like in today's phones, like you don't just record a voice. I mean, you can, but like you don't, like the teenagers don't use the recording app.
Yeah,
use Snapchat, so you're not gonna.
The police are not putting out enough information. Okay, they're trying to say that it's a security camera. Like, where is a security camera? Now, the bodies are found the bodies are found on private property. They did do a search warrant, but obviously it's not the guy that lived there, you know. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at the video right now,
there's the down the hill.
This is the hill. Look at this. And you can actually see where they slid down the hill.
Oh, wow. When was this video taken?
It looks like people have come down this way and slid down this hill. There's where it stops right there. There's some police tape right there.
Now this over here, and you'll see a red barn. We're watching a video of someone walking through, and this property was searched, okay, because it was on their property. Now all this is private property.
Do you think they came all the way back here and down the hill? Or do you think they're just keeping people off of that property?
That's private property, yeah.
If we walk through,
so
it's definitely roped off. I think they want people to stay off.
Private property. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And the fact that they haven't caught the guy.
So, like, do you have any details about how they were found?
The police aren't saying anything. All they're saying is they were found. It was a double homicide, and here we can read some of the comments too.
Well, hey, can you scroll up really quick? I wanted. Okay, so this was posted March 5th.
This is
the video. This is about 3 weeks. Not even 3 weeks after they were found. I wanted others that are trying so hard to solve these homicides to get an idea of what it was like for Libby and Abby to walk across the bridge and share with everyone. We also walked down near the place where the girls were found in videos 2 and 3. Just maybe this will make people think a little harder about that day, something they saw, someone, anything to bring justice to these girls.
There's somebody else over there.
Here, can you move that wine bottle? I can't even see.
And the girl.
Let me see.
Wait a second. Well, honey, and that's when you're about a third, 2/3.
Wait, where do they go down the hill? Oh my God, look at that. Why would you walk across that? I mean, you could fall in that damn thing. Now, I will say that there were people out there running during that day, just like a normal day. There's people out there all the time. Let me show the one where they go down to the, so here it is.
So here I am at the graveyard.
A graveyard?
And this way is, down there is the creek.
Deer Creek.
So the police had parked.
And that's where they were found?
Yeah.
And we've got a vehicle here that they just trespassed. They probably will get stopped back there. But if you go down here, you can see a ravine. Go down in there.
Oh, it's pretty. It's way in the woods.
Oh, I think it's creepy as fuck.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely creepy.
You can be pretty and creepy
at
the
it is
same
a
time.
fucking graveyard. Holy shit, that is creepy. Now, this is like a historic train thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the old locomotives.
Ooh.
The bridge.
Yeah, that's what is historic. Yeah, I would definitely be like not alone there.
Hang on. I'm running a little bit fast.
Well, you wouldn't find me alone. You wouldn't even find me with anyone there because I'm not a huge like hiker or anything. But I were to go out to the forest, I would not go alone.
So, like, he instructed them to go down here in this little ravine.
Maybe a little bit further, like.
Did they just did they comply because they're 13 and 14 years old and they anything an adult says?
Can you play the clip one more time?
Which one?
The sound clip?
Yeah. Down the hill. Well, he's said it once, but it was looped.
Why is it snap there? It's like a shutter noise.
I think the police have more, man.
Or I think it kind of sounds like he was saying just down the hill. And I was wondering if there was possibly a question, like the slightest inflection in his voice when he's making that statement. I don't hear that. I don't hear an inflection. I just hear he's kind of making a statement like, "Oh, if you just go down this hill."
Yeah, it does sound like he's giving directions the way that he says it. That's
let me play
point.
one more time. So, because when
just
I first
down the hill,
it's not a question. He's making a statement.
Just down the hill, and then you do this like that. Yeah, I got you.
When I first heard it, I was just thinking. I was thinking he was commanding them, like, go down the hill.
No, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the gruff force behind it.
And also,
it sounds like a.
Why would
casual...
someone do that? It kind of sounds like he's direct, like giving instructions, and maybe they asked him where something is. He says it's just down the hill. Maybe he follows them after he gives them the directions. Maybe this guy's not the killer at all, but it probably is.
That's a great point. This guy is an unknown suspect. They asked him to come forward, but maybe he hasn't even heard of this.
Well,
he didn't know that was him. Like,
I don't know.
That's hard to believe,
I think, but
this guy is not sure that he did anything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he was there. Now, do they have DNA? Let's say they found DNA on this guy.
Oh,
obviously. Well, the cops aren't coming out about this stuff. That's the thing. They haven't said, because it'll ruin the integrity of the investigation from what they're saying. So if they have DNA, obviously they
don't have a match.
They don't have a match. Now, you only have your DNA in the system if you've committed a crime. That's Proposition 69. Remember from Golden State Killer?
Yeah, so all they can do is hope and pray that they come up with a match.
Yeah. Thanks to Joseph James D'Angelo for jump-starting the Proposition 69. If you haven't listened to Golden State Killer, anytime someone goes in and gets booked as a criminal, you have to submit DNA. So this guy maybe has never been booked before. So his DNA is not on.
And maybe he's not a cop.
Maybe he is a cop.
Well, don't police officers also have to submit theirs now?
I don't know. But, I mean, who knows?
I think they do so that they can be ruled out.
Now, I was thinking,
like if they touch evidence or something, they have to submit their own so that they can be ruled out, I think.
So I was thinking that, all right, so in a town of 3,000 people, I mean, he would have been found. So is he not even a resident? Maybe he's doing contract work up there. And and that's what I was thinking, the brown shirt, maybe it's a company shirt.
It's not exactly a tourist spot. So
yeah, but if you're doing contract work up there,
possibly. I don't know what kind of are there factories in this town?
It's a small ass town, 3,000 people.
Is there anything else that it's known for aside from these bridges?
No, I don't think so. It's just a small ass town, middle of nowhere. So, I mean, I don't know.
I was just trying to think if there was a particular industry where they could have come from if they were doing contract work.
But, all right, let's say he was a contractor or something up there, just passing through. If you're not from the area, I mean, I know you said you heard of this case, Jen, but did you see that guy's picture?
I didn't hear a lot of details.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing that picture.
And if that's your husband or whatever, I mean, maybe it doesn't click at the same, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that's the last you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. What do you guys have to say?
I think it would be, I think it's hard to believe that it would not be this guy, just because, I mean, you could be scared if you know that you're that guy in the video and you're like, holy shit, if I say I'm this guy, they're going to convict me of murder and I'm going to say, fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the thing that's going through your mind, but I kind of think more likely
would you
not.
Go to the police? All right, if you were that guy.
If I knew it was me.
No, if you didn't kill him and you knew it was you.
And I was this guy and I didn't kill them. I knew it for sure and I knew that was me. I actually think I probably would go to the police just to be like, because it probably looks shadier if you know it's you and you don't come forward and say something.
Yeah.
What about you, Jen? No, because they could
then
railroad
when they
you.
find out it's you without you coming forward,
They're like, what, you got something to hide?
But they could railroad you and throw you in prison.
I mean, I would hire an attorney.
I don't trust the cops, man. I'm telling you that right now. I don't really
I guess I would hire an attorney and ask them what I should do.
What's that?
I guess I would hire an attorney and ask them what I should do.
Yeah.
Like, why is that bridge open to the public? I feel like there's got to be some accidents that have happened on that bridge.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, think about getting drunk and trying to walk the damn bridge.
Oh, yeah.
You'd fall off.
I feel like that would be like a dare that high school kids would do, you know?
Yeah. All right. The person of interest is 5'6" to 5'10".
I said 5'8".
110 or 180 to 220 pounds with reddish brown hair.
I think they've got the age wrong in that sketch. I think he's a good 15 years older.
Oh, you know what? This guy says something good. He says, whatever theory you may have had that would happen, there must have been others who saw, quote, bridge guy prior to the murders. And that's a good point, because there's people out there running, exercising out there. I mean, this is like a trail, just like anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there had to have been someone to see this guy.
Well, it's weird that nobody has then.
Everyone's asking for more evidence. So the police are not releasing any more evidence. They're not releasing if they got DNA. They're not releasing the full audio and video. They're not releasing anything. And they say it's jeopardizing the case. But at this point, it's been a year, going on a year. And these people online, these web sleuths or whatever, like they can actually be your greatest asset. So I think you're doing a huge disservice not releasing all the information.
Yeah.
Because y'all guys ain't doing nothing.
You don't think that they're like building a case against someone right now? Then maybe that's why, or I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking.
I don't know.
Well, hopefully by doing this podcast, it draws that little extra attention back to this case.
Yeah.
So that it's back in the forefront, and hopefully we can get justice for these girls.
Yeah.
And if you are that guy listening to this podcast, I think even if it wasn't you, I think you should probably go to the police so that you can get yourself ruled out, and provide an alibi, have them do their thing, and if you're innocent, you're innocent, and if you did it, I hope that you have the conscience to let the families have some sort of closure. Yeah.
All right. So there is a guy that is being one of the suspects that they did catch. His name is Thomas Bruce. Now he was caught and charged with murder, the first degree murder of one woman and sexually assaulting two others in a Catholic supply shop. And if you want to read all this, Nicole, from this article.
Investigators working with the Delphi double homicide investigation have been in contact with St. Louis police. It's way too early to make a connection between the cases, but police said there were some similarities. Thomas Bruce, 53, of Imperial, Missouri, is charged with 17 counts, including murder, sodomy, and attempted sodomy in the St. Louis case. Oh, so they already got this guy. Prosecutor Robert McCulloch said Bruce forced three women into a back room at the Catholic supply store. He was armed with a gun and told the woman to strip. When one woman would not comply with his demands, investigators said Bruce shot her in the head. Police said he then raped the other woman.
Mm.
Oh my God, in a Catholic store.
Yep.
Interesting. So they caught this guy right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I mean, I can see a similarity. Look, he's got a black eye.
Yeah.
Can you go back to that one picture?
Yeah.
So, but at least in that picture, I'm not as convinced that he has dark hair.
Man, I don't know. It's a sad situation. And honestly, I don't know if unless there was DNA on the victims. I mean,
but you would think if there was, and that one guy did it, they would have it. They would have it in the bag.
Right.
Yeah. So they're just waiting to build a case.
Or maybe that guy didn't do it. The one that they caught, and he's still on the loose.
Right.
Yeah. So, and we'll post updates as they come in on our Patreon page too.
Hopefully there will be. So
I wanted to do the story, and sorry there's no big developments, but it's it's always intrigued me seeing this guy's picture.
Mystery man.
And plus, Jen, I don't like to do full big stories when you're not here. It's not the same.
I know, but I'm here in spirit.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, are they ever going to catch this guy? Does he look like that Bruce guy?
And I'm sure we've got some tacos that are in Indiana. So tacos in this area, please reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram when we're posting about this. Definitely, even better yet, go to our Patreon page and subscribe so that we can have the conversation online.
Yeah.
Or email me.
Yeah, email Jen at talkmurder.com or email John at JON@talkmurder.com so we can get your insights on the story. I know we've got some tacos out there, so we'd love to hear from you. Jen, you want to sign us out?
Sure. And thanks, guys, for listening to Talk Murder to Me, as always. We really hope you enjoyed this episode. Guys, I can't wait to get back and record in person, but this is going to have to do for now. So I think it went well.
We miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too. And love to all you tacos. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so
I know the mic was there currently as a placeholder, like I was sitting there, but
no, I just forgot
it's
to
just
put
gonna
it in
have
the
to go on the
closet.
floor
I was gonna put it in a closet today.
where I belong.
Jen.